Hey traders, Raghi here, and in this premium video I'm going to kick it off with a couple of the points that I brought up in the free video. One is we talked about the V-score, we talked about the importance of paying attention to price, but having another way to measure price with a volume prioritized tool, and that is right now really my bread and butter right now. There are volume weighted average price lines, which collectively I just call the VWAP wave. I've just been calling that in my own notes. VWAP wave, VWAP cluster. If I kind of toggle between the terminology, you know what I'm talking about. These are our time anchored volume weighted average price tools. And then what else are we doing? We're talking a lot about the V-score. Now, gang, I want to be totally upfront with you guys. A lot of folks are saying, hey, Rog, I don't have the V-score. Do I need the V-score? In this environment, gang, I will say you need it. And it's not very often that I'm going to emphasize a premium tool. I only have one premium tool, and I put three tools into one. And that is the V-score that I created many, many moons ago, an anchored VWAP, and an anchored V-profile. Okay? So I included all three of those tools because an anchored V-profile, volume profile, and an anchored volume weighted average price is not something you see built in to most platforms, and the V-score is my creation, so of course it's not built into most platforms. And by the way, what is the V-score? I've never been secretive about my tools. I've always let you guys know what it is, and what this is, basically, not to be too confusing because I'm not going to get into the calculation, but this is a Z-score of the volume weighted average price. In other words, I wanted to know the standard deviations of the V-score, VWAP. I wanted to know the standard deviations of the VWAP. How far away from the mean have we extended? Where do we tend to find price? And a lot of you are finding, especially in this environment, wow, Rog, this works terrific. In fact, it's kind of what we're relying on because historical volatility is so far gone that things like our expected price movement range, daily price movement range, and hourly price movement ranges just are not helping us out because of the same reason a lot of brokerages and banks are struggling. The value at risk based on historical volatility is so far out of whack. Now, we do not use volatility to measure or determine how much risk we're going to tolerate, although it's part of the understanding. We use that volatility, historical volatility, to simply find support and resistance. But the same reason, the same measurement, the same thing that hedge funds have used to measure risk, same idea, different calculations clearly, but the same idea is what I use. That's what my HPMR calculations are based on, something that I created to mimic what my buddies I know at hedge funds and so forth do, but I don't need to do that, right? We're not managing these large portfolios based on historical volatility, but how can we use historical volatility to our advantage, without having quants on staff and things like that? Well, that's the formula I created using the Autochartist levels. Okay, so, you can see the parallels and the influence. And so, yeah, we can do a lot of the things that the big boys do, but we'll use them differently. All right. So another thing the big boys have are constant news feeds. And some of these news feeds are terribly expensive. I used to have a Bloomberg terminal. I did for about 2 years. It costs an arm and a leg, and I don't know that it paid for itself, to be quite frank. No knock to the Bloomberg terminal, but I'm not going to go tell you guys you need a Bloomberg terminal to trade. You know what Bloomberg terminals are for? I think they're just really now used to look really fancy when you're on screen cutting a video. Like, look at my Bloomberg keyboard and my Bloomberg terminal. Okay. Could I get one? Of course I could. Do I think it's something I need to trade? It is not. Okay. So they are cool toys. Don't get me wrong. I did love playing around with it, but I don't think it's something that's necessary. But a news feed is. So with that in mind, you guys know I've talked a lot about the news feed, if you will. It's a free one. It's a live blog at Forex Live. I don't know all the people at Forex Live. I'm not interested in the trade ideas, and I'm certainly not interested in the technical analysis. But if you're looking for something to turn CNBC to mute or Bloomberg to mute and get really good, up-to-date, as you can see here, notifications of what's going on in the world, Forex Live is great. Before Forex Live, there was a site called Forex Briefs. They did not survive, and Forex Live is what's out there, and I think they do a terrific job of live blogging different news events. Again, I don't use trade ideas from them. I don't use technical analysis, of which they do very, very little, but they are exceptional at bringing what I believe is really important news to futures and Forex traders right to your desktop for free, okay? Another tool I'm going to share with you is one that I've never shared before, and I've used it for quite a long time, and I don't know why I've never shared it. Well, no, I do, because it's a little bit more cumbersome, and it's a lot more information. Forex Live is just easy, but this is called Koyfin, Koyfin, and remarkably, it is free. I don't know who Koyfin is. I've been using this for quite some time. It's really, I think, a really good replacement for something like a Bloomberg terminal. It is comprehensive. It has all sorts of market data for, kind of investors and traders. And it's amazing. And it's free. I just can't even believe it. But yeah, you can sign up at Koyfin, Koyfin.com. And I don't know if they're ever going to change the pricing, but I would be happy to pay for it. Okay. Will there be a premium version? I understand there will be at some point, and if it's reasonably priced, I'd be happy to pay for it, but this is free. It's a lot more information though. So you can see the difference between the Forex Live newsfeed and the Koyfin newsfeed. This is a lot more maybe curated, and this is a little bit more, you scan and sort out what's important to you, but it's a lot more information. Both are free. Check them out. I keep both of them running on my desktop, okay? But I'll usually emphasize the Forex Live more. And again, I don't know these folks. I'm big fans of what both of them do. They're terrific services, and they're free. All right, so there's that. The other thing that I'm going to keep today really short and sweet. I've got a lot of research that I'm going to do over the weekend, and if we're going to send out some supplemental videos, I will do it. Big question. Am I going to continue to trade intraday? Yes. In fact, gang, if you look back on the day, if you look back on the week, we have slayed it day trading. I don't say that to brag. I say that for you to look back on what you are capable of doing right now in an environment that people are calling untradeable. We are stepping in every morning and looking for these fades, looking for this V-score fades, looking for the initial balance breaches, looking for the VWAP retracements, watching the yen, and we're able to take advantage of this movement. When I say watching the yen, by the way, I look at the yen a couple different ways. I certainly share the yen, and I think the easiest way to measure it is with this. This is Finviz, yet another fantastic free resource. I shared another image with you all today, which was the Oanda heat map. Amazing, another free resource. In fact, Oanda Labs, those of you that took my Forex Freedom class, by the way, Oanda Labs was a big part of this. You guys might recall. So there's a lot of awesome free tools. I love free tools. I want as much capital to go into your education and to go into your account than a lot of third-party tools. But there are some third-party tools that I'm a big fan of. You guys know I'm a big fan of AutoChartist. You guys know I'm a big fan of things like Wingman Tracker, TradeMetria to monitor my trade results in futures and Forex and my options trading. And some of you have asked me, because you've seen me do a couple of these webinars for them, yes, I'm a fan of Bookmap. I'll talk more about Bookmap in the coming days and weeks. Every single tool, let me mention this here, gang, because I'll be straight up. When you sit where I sit as a successful trader and trading personality, whatever you want to call it, you get sent a lot of stuff for free. I refuse to ever take up on those offers if I'm going to recommend the service to you. Every single service that I recommend to you guys, I pay for. Okay? So Bookmap, I've paid for. AutoChartist, I pay for. TradeMetria, I pay for. Wingman Tracker, I pay for. Okay? So rest assured, if there's something out there that I'm willing to pay for, I'll recommend it to you guys, and I will never recommend something to you guys that I am not buying myself. All right? So this is one really great way to understand relative performance. And what I want to get at is I look at it a couple different ways. I'll also pull up TradeStation. You can do this on Thinkorswim with that watch list that I've shown you all. You can do this thing right here. No, where is it? Oh, I got to find it. There is a watch list that one of the members created. I'll talk about it next week because I'm not seeing the list here. But there's a watch list that one of the members created that allows you guys to keep an eye on not only oh, here it is. Hang on. Let me share this with you here. This is what it looks like anyways. And then there's a link that I will, let's see. Hang on one sec. I know I have this because Duncan created this for me. Here we go. I'll create a shortcut or I'll put it into Rogge.io. But you can also have a watch list like this with the 81321 trade flag and the 34 EMA wave trade flag that looks just like this on Thinkorswim. And what we want to do is be able to look at Aussie yen, Canadian dollar yen, and see if the yen is losing ground against all currencies. And you can see all day long the net change of the yen losing ground against every one of these. The yen was weak today, gang. What kept the market from moving higher? I think one part the news about New York, one part the task force press conference that sent the market down as well. And then, of course, it's quadruple witching, and there's a certain unpredictability with that as well. And a lot of sort of negative news peppered the day. Different brokerage prop firms unable to meet capital requirements. Different issues. We have Illinois announcing 163 new cases and stay-at-home orders for Saturday going through like April 7. 13 million people live in Illinois, gang. So a lot of news that just kept people, and oil got absolutely annihilated today. I believe that it ended up closing at, I think it fell to it fell hard. Let me show you real quick. Oil. So these little things that happened throughout the day put a lot of pressure. Look at this, slicing through $24. A lot of pressure on the overall markets. So even though yen was weak all day long, all these other news pieces and the uncertainty around caution days like today, I think ultimately really wore a lot of buyers down. Okay. A couple things I will recommend over the weekend if you have some time. Check out today's midday update. I went full on explainer on the dollar and how to play country ETFs. I know most of you in the futures room know this inside out, but it was a really good update on that. And then also, I'll recommend if the morning day trades are something you're still struggling with, take a look at today's morning day trades and the alerts that I sent out. And we'll do this all over again next week, okay? All right, gang. As always, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your daily routine. We want to guide you as best we can with the experience that we have. And we know we'll just get through this together. We'll stay nimble right now. We'll get longer term opportunistic on these lows at some point, just not yet, okay? Lower lows are not, to be bought. It's the higher highs we want to focus on. And remember, gang, there will be money to be made on the long side of this when everything settles down, but you're not getting paid. You're not being rewarded to pick a bottom. You're being rewarded to position yourself as the bottoming process continues. I don't think we're necessarily there yet, maybe at the very early stages, but I don't think we've found the bottom yet. Maybe the process could have begun. But we don't get paid for picking a bottom. We're gonna get rewarded as the market climbs back up. Okay? And I'll leave you with that. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week.